They've been here since like 10 this morning.
We're anxious.
Jobs, jobs, jobs. Learn more right after this.
I'm transferring to the University of West Georgia.
Columbia University.
Kennesaw State.
UGA. Loyola University in Chicago.
Grambling State.
Shorter University.
I'm going to Greensboro College, and we all got our start at Georgia Highlands.
No matter where your educational journey takes you, you can get your start at Georgia Highlands College. Georgia Highlands College. Enroll, engage, excel.
Welcome to Community Watch. Greg,
Doc,
how you doing?
I'm doing fine. This is one of your shows.
No, I don't know why you say that. Why do you say that?
Because when I met you, I bought the cheapest tires possible.
Oh yeah, and I complained.
And you would complain,
Yeah.
and you would tell me to do, oh, you need to do your research and all this and all that. So I'm better now, you know.
Well, tires are important. Tires and brakes. Tires and brakes.
I agree now. I do. And so I do spend more for my tires now than I did in the past. But years ago when I first met you, you know, the cheapest tire, that's all I was, just whatever I needed.
Well, I feel better knowing that you're safer now.
Yeah. So now we're going to start talking about quality differently, you know.
Well, we're talking about tires today, obviously, but also about employment. I don't know how many students come to me and say, I can't find a job.
Oh, yeah.
Toyo's hiring. Toyo's hiring hundreds of people.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that today.
And it's indicative because, you know, the jobs report that's come out every month, they said over the last, 3 months, 100 million jobs have been created in the U.S. And I think this is indicative of that jobs are out there, but you do have to be qualified to get them. So.
Right. Well, we have, I don't know, it seems like a dozen people from Toyo here today.
They didn't bring no tires.
So we're going to be talking to quite a few of them. Stay with us. Information about employment. So definitely stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We're very happy to have with us today Don Waterhouse, who is the Director of HR and General Affairs at Toyo Tire, and Carmen Jones, who is the HR Manager. Thank you both very much.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
All right, well, I have to ask the very basic questions, and then Greg will ask the more sophisticated, intelligent questions.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about the plant and where it is and what exactly you do there.
Okay. Well, the plant's located in White, Georgia, just north of White, actually, and we began operation in January of 2006, and I came on board with the plant actually in November of 2004. So have seen the plant grow from just an empty field out there to now 65 acres under roof. And the current expansion we're going through, which is our fourth expansion in about 10 years, brings us to that size. So it's about 300,000 square feet. I'm sorry, 3 million square feet. So big place.
That is big. That is big. So, Ms. Jones, what exactly do you do at the plant? Not you personally, but the company. What is it?
We manufacture tires at Toyo Tire. So we start from the beginning to the end, raw materials, all the way out to the finished products out the door.
And how many different types of type? One type or
It's several
I mean,
different times.
Yeah, it's that's a big question
Yeah.
right there.
Is
It's we make a number of sizes.
Yes.
But basically, what we serve is light truck, SUV, and passenger car, high performance.
Okay.
So those are the three main. And then I through all that, I mean, they're just I couldn't even tell you how many
It's a lot.
different tire sizes and that type of thing.
When he said high performance, that means my car doesn't count.
No, because you drive your car
Like his high
it's
performance.
Because, well, we've had that talk before.
we've
Yeah,
had
all right.
But I'm curious that because we're talking about employment today, and I know from several people that Toyo is a good paying job,
Right.
but it's a job that requires some qualifications.
Right.
Could you share what is Toyo looking for in an employee?
Well, what we're looking for is that individual. We're a pretty high-tech operation, and everything in there is operated off computer-based systems. So, we're looking for that individual that can come in and, number one, got a good work history. They're not job hopping all over the place because it takes a while to train somebody to do what we do. And we make tires different from anybody else. It's a very, very high-tech operation. So we got to have people that can fit that. They got they can work well with other people. They got stickability. They come in and get through the learning curve, and it provides a good career. We've got a lot of folks that have been there for, almost the whole 10 years that it's been started. Some of these folks we got in the room today are those folks. So, and we're constantly hiring. We've never had a layoff. And the economy keeps going like it's going, we probably won't ever have one, we hope. But it's good job stability for people. If somebody's looking for a career, we got great benefits. Our 401k is super good, and so people that looking for a place they can stay and retire, we think that we provide that. And it's not a laid back, easy-going place. I mean, you work for what you get, and but that is very, very fast paced.
Now, when when I think of manufacturing, I guess what I'm used to and what it is today has changed.
Oh, greatly.
Because you say it's very high tech.
Greatly.
And so I guess the skills that's needed to be successful at Toyo has changed from years ago as well.
Exactly. That's the reason back in when the Japanese our parent company decided to build this plant in the U.S. At that time, most tire companies were moving offshore. They were going to areas in South America, just all over the world, but they weren't building tire plants in the U.S. And when Toyo developed the technology that we have here that's used in this plant, it made it possible to locate a plant here and be able to be competitive in the market, and we've been very successful at that. So, the technology we have and the way we make a tire is totally different. In a conventional tire plant, you got a guy standing there wrapping parts around a drum, building a tire by hand. You can imagine doing that 12 hours a day. Your mind gets to wandering, it gets off a little bit here, a little bit there, and the next thing you know, when you got to go buy a set of tires, you put a big chunk of lead around it. And our tires are made on a computerized piece of equipment, so everything goes through exact and very, very precise. This machine that we have is called an atom machine. Is the size of a small house, 30 by 70 basically. So, that constructs a tire that is very, very uniform. And so when it goes on the customer's car, they don't have to put a big chunk of lead on there, hopefully. And it's a good ride and good tread life. So we build a much better tire.
Would you say that the folks that you're looking to hire need to have some of those skills already, or is it the kind of job where if you find somebody dependable, you can train them?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. To find somebody that has the skills we're looking for out of the chute is just about impossible. You got to get that person that has high potential, and then we train them. We've hired people out of the retail industry. We've hired people out of other manufacturing facilities. So we can take somebody and train them if they have the potential. You know, we do have assessments that we use to help determine those folks who are going to be a good fit. And it's important to the applicant. You know, nobody wants to take a job and then 3 months into it find out, oh my goodness, I made a big mistake, and they have to leave, and then, you know, it's another short tenure on a resume or an application they have to explain. And it's the same with us. We invest a lot of training in these folks, and we want them to be there for years to come. So, it's important that we have a good match.
So what's the, I guess, Carmen, what is the basic requirement for an applicant to be employed at Toyo?
They have to have a high school or GED, of course, that's first. And of course, people like for them to have done, stated some type of good work history. They have to be willing to work now, since we're no longer on 12-hour rotating shifts. They will be hired to a fixed night shift. So we want to make sure people, and the employees ask for that. They ask for to look at a different shift rotation, and we was able to allow the employees to vote on that. And now we're on fixed days and fixed nights. So, and that's basically
well,
it.
let's get
And
to
of course, 18 years of age.
18 years old. Well, let's get to the big question. Pay. What kind of the pay range? Because I mean, let's be honest. At the end of the day, people want to know.
All about the dollar.
All about the dollar.
You're right. Our starting rate is $15 an hour.
With a GED.
With a GED. With a GED.
Yeah.
And they can max out depending on what wage progression that they're on. Can max out to 20, 21. It just depends on where they.
I'm not even worried about the max out.
Okay, well, start out 15.
You know, when you compare, because we know a lot of students, and we know a lot of students with GEDs. $15.
That's good.
That's real well in this area. I mean, with a I'm just amazed that that's possible with a GED, because most people with a GED, you're looking at minimum wage almost.
Right.
And so that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, the other part of that is they started at 15, but then in 6 months they go to 16, and then 12 months they go to 17.
So every 6 months they're getting an
And
increase.
we're taking applications if you're in there.
So, well, I was going to say, 18 is the minimum age. What's the maximum age?
There is no maximum. Look at me. I'm the poster child for there's no maximum.
We need to talk for a minute off the air.
Yeah, really. You got any training positions or something? You know, because really, when you really think about it with today's economy, and when you think about the competition that's out there, now, if I'm correct, now you said y'all are hiring hundreds of people over the next couple of years.
Yeah, that's right.
And a lot of well-paying jobs, so many of the population is locked out because they simply don't have the qualifications. So here's an opportunity to get a well-paying job, and then, you know, making that kind of money, you can invest in your own future, go back to school, do other things. But I'm saying, but there's an opportunity for people with GEDs and up at Toyo Tire.
And we have excellent, as Don stated earlier, benefits and 401k. So, you know, it's opportunities.
So this is really one of those jobs you can retire at, you say?
Oh, yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you have a job fair coming up in the Rome area very soon.
Very soon.
That's the 21st of February.
That's correct.
And it's going to be at Georgia Northwestern.
Georgia Northwestern from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
From 9 to 1.
And then the following week we will have one in Dalton at the Northwest Georgia Trade and Convention Center.
So that would be the 28th
of February. And same time, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
And then you'll have some others beyond, I think one in Calhoun, and then possibly one in Marietta as well.
Exactly, in March.
But you're gonna hire, I think, all of your people on the 21st in Rome. You can cancel all the others.
We hope.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
We hope.
No, I've got one question. Georgia work readiness, is that a requirement?
Right.
It is.
And it
Silver and above.
Silver
and above.
Silver and above. Okay. Yeah. We got to go find them.
Yeah. So we got just under a minute left before our break. Folks who are coming to the job fair on the 21st, what do they need to bring with them? Do they need a resume, or would that be a good idea?
You know, they could bring a resume, and then we'll attach it to the form. There'll be a form they fill out, work interest form that they'll fill out there at the job fair. And if they have a resume, we can attach it to that.
All right. Well, I think it's very exciting. I mean, I know you need some good people to work, but it's certainly a nice challenge to have.
Nice problem to have.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
We're going to cut to a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to some more folks from Toyo, so please stay with us. We'll be right back.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Welcome back to Community Watch, and once again we're talking about job employment at Toyo Tires. And now in this segment joining us, we have Mr. Kenny Woods, Tire Building Supervisor, Heather Jones, a Tire Building Supervisor, and Mr. Scott Chrisman, a Tire Test Technician. Welcome to the show, people.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Don and Carmen talked about Toyo and how great it is, but that's human resources. But I want to know from the people that's actually in the plant on the floors and what is that experience like? And if I could first, how many years have y'all been at Toyo Tires?
I've been there 7 years. 7 years last month. So
I've been there 7 years.
I've been there 4 years.
And you a supervisor?
I
4
just
years.
recently got promoted to supervisor this past month.
I started
out as a technician, and then I was shortly promoted to supervisor in stock prep, and then brought back over to tire building supervisor.
Okay, so walk me through the process. And since I know you like to talk, Kenny, walk me through the process. Okay, so what is the job like on a daily basis at Toyo Tire?
It's 12 hours, which 12 hours is no joke. It's a lot of, you got to be able to prioritize and I mean, like you said, the Atom machine, that the department that we're in, pretty good sized machine. You got to be able to prioritize, make sure that you're ready for the next order. You're watching your quality real close. It's a lot of walking, a lot of walking and watching.
And Heather, so being there 4 years, what are some of the things you enjoy about this job?
With me coming from the tire building area, it's very interactive. You have a lot of stuff that you have to monitor and keep on, and along with the job, there's also the ability to be promoted, which is something that I finally have managed to go for.
You just been there 4 years, though. I'm thinking about promoting.
But it's not just that promotion. Every time we do an expansion, there's a new area in the tire building area. So there's new machines to learn and everything else, and I've gone through and learned every one of the machines in the tire building department, and it's been, I never thought that I would look at tires the way I do now.
Probably the way I look at them.
It used to be whatever, we love to call them May Pops and Will Pops.
I'm familiar with that term.
I was riding on Will Pops when I first started working, and now I have to say I'm very happy with having some Toyo tires on there, and I know I sit there and look at vehicles going by. I said, oh, I make those on a daily basis. I love it.
Now, Scott, so you're a tire test technician. So I'm guessing in this whole process, I mean, because one thing I'm hearing a lot is quality. It's all about the quality of the tires. So kind of describe what your job entails for us.
My job is to take the set of standards that the DOT sets for what this tire has to do, and the standards that Toyo has set that is higher, and make sure that the tires that these guys are producing are making it to where they're safe for your family, my family, anybody that buys these tires. They're going to be safe on our product.
Now let me ask, and this is all three of you really here, because at the end of the day, I tell people if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. But all of us are not that fortunate to do exactly what we love. But you want a job that you can at least enjoy doing and appreciate, even if it pays well. So what are some of the things that you really like about Toyo Tires as a company, working for this company?
Me personally, I like the fact of knowing that I can see the product from its raw state and have the pride of knowing that I played a part in putting that together. And you know, it's a lot of opportunity there, a lot of opportunity.
Heather? You can say the money.
The money helps. I'm not gonna lie, because I had come from retail, and being able to move up and just the money being there was great. But there's a lot of the people that we work with, they're great. I mean, there's pretty much anybody that I've met on the floor, I can sit there and talk to them, have a good conversation, and if I need help, they're right there to help me. A lot of companies that you work for, you got to do your own thing and make sure that you're watching out for yourself. But at Toyo, it's more of a community, and we're all pretty well knit. So if we have a problem with something, we can go talk to anyone that we need to get that problem eliminated.
What about you, Scott?
I just like how not every day is the same. I mean, you come in the morning and you could be, you know, running a new code, or, you know, something you've never done before. And like Heather said, I consider it all almost like a family. I mean, Kenny was my supervisor for a couple of years, and still to this day, if I need him, I can call him. You know, we spend so many hours with these people, 12-hour shifts. You really get to be a part of everybody's life, and that was important to me.
You know, when I know in just talking to people who have attempted to work at Toyo, and I say attempted because I know it's not for everybody.
Absolutely.
And if something done says some stick-to-itness, because it's not an easy job. It is a job that you're working for those 12 hours. So as supervisors, what are some of the things that you really are looking for in potential applicants that's going to determine that they're going to have what it takes to be a good employee? What are some of the things they just got to have?
Oh, you got to have the desire to want to succeed. You know, if you show up every day, the environment will help you if you want to help yourself. So, you know, nobody's going to let you just fail. If you want to succeed, you can succeed. If you want to learn how to build tires, you can build tires.
And the reason I asked this question, because I don't know the process, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to ask Doug, can we get a tour or something? But because I know initially when you come in, it's a lot of hard work from what I understand from people, that I guess that first phase. And so what I kind of want to paint a picture for people that I know initially, you know, but there's a great opportunity, but it's work.
There's a huge learning curve. Just my personal experience, when I first came there, there was so much for me to learn to do. I was ready to quit after 2 weeks, but the people around me wouldn't allow me to give up. So they helped me to get to where I needed to be, and it just turned on like a light. So.
What would you say, Heather?
I know when I first got walked through, because everyone that gets hired on, they get the grand tour. You go from one end to the other. I had no clue what I was looking at all. And it's a lot to take in that first go around. Mm-hmm. But after being in there and sticking with it, you know, it finally, like Kenny said, you have to want to do it. And for a little while there, I was like, I don't know if this is me, but I managed to stick with it, and I feel like I've been very successful there.
Well, it must be you. You've been promoted. And Scott, I'm saying because this is, I know y'all having a job fair. And in fact, you know, the next job fair is Saturday, February the 21st at 1 Maurice Culbertson Drive, which is at Georgia Northwestern Technical College from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And at that job fair, people are just filling out interest forms. And we want as many people to go out there because from what I understand, y'all are hiring 340 people this calendar year. 340 people this calendar year. But you want high quality people. And I want people to understand that, yeah, this is a high paying job, but it is a real job. It is a demanding job. It's not a job you can come in 12 hours and just be laid back. It's work.
It's not a country club.
Yeah.
So I guess for young people, because you know we deal with a lot of young people, what are some of the things that you see, I guess, that's the biggest concern that you have with young people coming in? Because I know with me personally dealing with young people, the reliability for them to show up every day prepared is a big issue with school. So what are some of the things that y'all see?
Well, attendance is key. I mean, you got to want to be there, and you know, obviously the position that you hold is there for a reason because we need you there. So attendance is key. We need somebody that's going to be there every day, because when you're not there, then you cause your teammates to have to work that much harder to make up the slack. So we're looking for somebody that want to work.
And not just want to work, you have to, not just showing up to work, but you have to actually want to be there and doing your job.
The motivation.
Not just coming in and earning a paycheck for standing there. You're going to work for your paycheck.
Well, I mean, that's
that's what you're supposed to do, but a lot of younger people, they just show up just to clock in and clock out, and where's my money?
Now, we have about 2 minutes left, and I guess what I want to kind of focus on, because when you look at bringing in 300 plus people, I mean, that's a lot of, like you said, that's a huge learning curve. That's a lot of people. So do you look forward to those kind of challenges as supervisors, that knowing, tomorrow this team is constantly growing?
It's a huge challenge to be able to develop and train that many people and still maintain the production level. But I think we have programs in place that help us to meet those challenges. So if anybody, when you get there, we're not going to let you fail. We got people that's going to put their arms around you and make sure that if the ability is in you, that we'll get it out.
Now, it's interesting because as you were talking about May Pops and Will Pops, have every one of you changed your mind about tires? Do you look at tires differently?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I go around and check all my families and friends. I'm like, you've got to change them. You've got to do something, because this isn't. Yeah, it's it definitely changes the way you see things.
Absolutely.
It's funny because when I was like 18, I worked at a mill myself in Mount Vernon, which made denim, and it did. Once you become educated about a process, you really can appreciate it. And then when you see, I guess, competitors, you notice little things that are different about yours and theirs. But is it a good job overall? I mean, the attitude of the people at the plant. So when you go in, what is the morale of the people you work with?
I think the atmosphere is great. The majority of the people that are there, they want to be there, and again, like I said, we help each other out, and we have pride in the product that we make.
Because I think that's one of the key things. Because I just think if you in a job that you don't like, and no one wants to go, man, I got to go to work. If you hate your job and you hate the people you work with, it really doesn't matter how much money you make. But I mean, it's something to go to work and really enjoy the people. You're not going to like everybody.
Oh, that's true.
But to work in a positive environment makes a big difference. And so, is there any one thing? We got about 30 seconds, and I'm gonna get this to you, Helen. Is there any one thing that you would think a reason people should come to Toyo?
Besides the paycheck?
Besides the paycheck.
Besides the paycheck, I would have to say just because it's a great overall job to work for. The benefits are great. The people that you're working for are great. Everyone wants you to succeed.
All right. We'll be right back right after this short break.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Welcome back to Community Watch, and once again, we was talking with Toyo Tire Company today. Toyo Tire is looking to hire 340 people this calendar year. Beginning jobs start out at about $15 an hour, and all that is required is a GED and above. They're having a job fair Saturday, February the 21st at Georgia Northwestern Technical College from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're having one at the Northwest Georgia Trading Convention Center in Dalton on Saturday, February the 28th. And then they're having one at Georgia Northwestern Technical College in Calhoun, Saturday, March the 21st. This is a great opportunity. Go out, fill out the job interest form, and get involved. I want to thank you for being with us at Community Watch, and we'll see you next time.